It's summer. I got my hat on backwards and it's time to fucking party.
What is up, nerds? My name is Travis, and this is my summer series of videos. I forgot to say that in my last video, so I'm gonna say it twice. This is my summer series of videos. Okay, so my throat hurts, and we have a very long video to get through, so let's get started. Here's something you guys might not know about me. I love baseball. You wouldn't think with a channel called WonderNerd that I'd be interested in any sport, really, but I love baseball. I love the history of it, I love the experience of it, and I just love being able to go out and watch a game. But one thing I love more than baseball, the sport, is movies about baseball. I'm actually a huge fan of sports movies in general, but there's something about baseball movies that, I don't know, I like them the best. It goes baseball movies, boxing movies, hockey movies, football movies, and then Forever Strong. Actually, really like that movie. You guys should check it out if you ever get a chance. It's about rugby. It's really good. You should check it out. Do you guys want to know what my favorite baseball movie is? I'll take your silence as a yes. My favorite baseball movie is everybody's favorite baseball movie, The Sandlot.
The Sandlot.
Made in 1993 and set against the backdrop of summer in 1962, The Sandlot was one of those movies that just so perfectly captured the majesty of youth. It's such a relatable movie, and it still relates to kids today. It shows us that during the summertime, when you're like 10 or 11 or 12, all you need is your buddies and to be outside. That's it. The Sandlot is the perfect coming-of-age story. It's a movie for kids and adults. And then there's The Sandlot 2. It's not a bad movie. It's really not. It's pretty okay. I mean, it's watchable. But did we need it? Did we really, really need it? Were there so many loose ends in the first Sandlot, and by the way, I hate that I have to say the first Sandlot, that you needed to create all new characters and continue the story 10 years later because people just wanted to know what the hell was going on in that universe? Did we really need this sequel to happen? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe there was an audience for it. Maybe there was a market for it. Maybe people were asking for it. What do I know? I was like 11 at the time, so I had no idea what was going on anywhere. But did we really? Released straight to DVD in 2005, and this time set against the backdrop of summer in 1972, this movie is only sort of tangentially related to the first movie. And by the way, I still hate that I have to say the first movie, because one of the main characters in this movie is related to one of the main characters in that movie. We all good? Good. One of the most major changes between The Sandlot and The Sandlot 2 is that this time around, girls get to play baseball with the boys. If you remember from The Sandlot, the phrase, "you play ball like a girl," was used as an insult between the Sandlot kids and the Little League kids. It was to say, hey man, you suck so bad at baseball, it's almost like you have a vagina, which is pretty much the extent of, the insults that an 11-year-old boy could come up with. So, yeah, it's pretty true to form. I probably would have come up with insults like that at that age. Yeah.
You play ball like a girl!
But with this movie being based in the early 70s, and with the early 70s bringing in an upswing of new wave feminism, the plot point of girls playing baseball with the boys is actually pretty interesting and pretty cool. I've actually always liked it, and it was a good way to differentiate itself from the first movie.
Yeah, but you play ball like a girl! Excuse me?
All in all, The Sandlot 2 is just basically pretty much a rehash of the first Sandlot movie, with a few new plot points and elements thrown in there, like being based in the 70s and having girls play baseball with the boys. But other than that, it's pretty much the first movie, which isn't the worst thing in the world. It just doesn't really add anything that new. It's basically the Hangover 2 of the Sandlot franchise. But then, we get to The Sandlot 3, Heading Home. Oh, you didn't know there was a third Sandlot movie? Well, there is. It was also sent straight to DVD, and it was made in 2007. And it is something. Oh, is it something? I can't just tell you guys about this movie. My words just simply do not do it justice. No, I have to show you guys this movie. So without any further ado, let's get started with my review of The Sandlot 3, Heading Home. And may God have mercy on my soul. Ah, so now we know who's to blame. Thanks a lot, 20th Century Fox. Pain in the ass. So the movie starts out with this 30 for 30 documentary on our main character, Tommy Santarelli. That's right, folks. Our main character is named Santa. Ho, ho, holy shit, what is going on? Somebody please help me. Tommy Santarelli is a seasoned professional baseball player, and this has sort of given him a big head over time and turned him into, well, he's an asshole, all right? Tommy Santarelli is an asshole.
So what do you think went wrong today, Santa?
Oh, what are you asking me for? I mean, I went 3 for 4. Homered in the 6th, in case you didn't see that.
Yeah, but you lost.
No, sweetie, they lost.
Did you just call me sweetie?
Listen, I'm just trying to be friendly, sweetie. Look, if these guys want to play like a bunch of losers, there's nothing I can do to stop them, okay? Great day for baseball. Yep, and one of the last. I'll tell you what, boys, when Santa's gone, party's over. You better cherish these days while they're here.
He's in a talkative mood today.
Yeah, probably because he's not under oath.
Luke Perry plays our main character, and I gotta say, he's actually pretty good at playing an asshole. He has that right amount of cockiness with just a little bit of extra sprinkled on top for taste. And if you don't know who Luke Perry is, ask your parents. They'll remember him from Beverly Hills 90210, and your sister might remember him from Riverdale. He plays Archie's dad, because he's old now. Older than this, because he's old here too. He's old, but a good old. A good old. Yeah, let's go with that.
Famed Dodger manager Benny Rodriguez explains.
Problem is, guys like Tommy don't play for the love of the game. And that translates to the rest of the guys.
Wait, just a minute. Hold everything. Who the fuck is that? You expect me to believe that is Benny the Jet Rodriguez? This guy doing a bad Cheech Marin impression? Oh my god! I know Mike Vittar isn't acting anymore, but seriously, you couldn't find somebody closer to Benny the Jet Rodriguez than Danny Nucci? I mean, come on! That's a horrible impression, and I don't know if that's the way Danny Nucci really talks or if he's putting it on for the movie, but dear God!
But, sad thing is, I could always tell. He never got it. What do I know? I'm just an old washed-up manager now anyhow. Let's get some dirt on those uniforms, huh?
Okay, so I've watched this movie multiple times, And I still don't understand whether or not the timeline between the Sandlot and the Sandlot 3 heading home add up. Because at the end of the first Sandlot movie, isn't Benny the Jet Rodriguez a professional baseball player for the Dodgers? Isn't he doing really well? Isn't he like a superstar? How is he now like washed up and old and sad in 2007? I don't understand. It just doesn't seem like it adds up. So as of right now, where we are, the movie isn't the worst. It's pretty much a mediocre baseball movie about some older baseball player who's a veteran, whose head is a little big and who thinks he owns the world. That's a pretty decent plot for a movie, right? But then we get these guys.
All right. So, on the big night, when I say now, I want you to light it up right here, okay? Hey, Luke. You understand me, right?
Yeah, bud. I'm just watching out Ben coming.
Right? On the big night, when I say now, I want you to light it up, okay?
What, now?
Now.
Now?
When I say now, Lou.
Now?
Lou, your head's like cement. Now is now,
What do you
right?
mean now?
Now.
Okay, now. No, not now. Pull it out. Pull it out. What do you mean pull it out? Get the light.
But they're not even the worst part of this movie. Oh no. They're just mouthpieces for some shitty slapstick comedy, some low-rent Abbott and Costello ripoff. But they ignite something that is so crazy to me that I still can't believe it's a part of a Sandlot movie. Time travel! Technical time travel! What the actual hell? There is time travel in a Sandlot movie!
How far did he skid? Face off, you. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He looks bad. 10. We should do something.
Yeah, kick him. See if he's faking it.
Kick him? What are you, nuts?
Nuts? Good idea. Kicking the family jewels? Excellent fake breaker.
Yeah, that should wake him up.
Bad idea on many levels. As a medical procedure, I think kicking is way down on the list of any prescribed remedies.
Got any better ideas, Q? Slap in the face?
Bucket of water. That always works.
My mom says you should always wake someone gently.
Gently. How about seeking medical attention, doofus? The average ambulance takes 4 minutes to respond to the scene of an accident.
Kicking the family jewels, lot faster.
And we finally made it to the Sandlot, where we're introduced to all of our memorable Sandlot kid characters, like the fat one, and the black one, and the others. They're not very memorable, are they? No, they're basically rehashes of the first movie, and the second movie, and every kid's movie from the 90s. Yup! The one upside is the kid they got to play young Tommy is as good of an asshole, if not a better asshole, than Luke Perry is. If Luke Perry is a good dickhead in this movie, this kid is a great dickhead.
Who you calling kid, Tubbs? I live in Beverly Hills. What's up with this kid crap? Hey, which one of you jacked my phone? I need to call my agent. Don't even think about autographs.
Why would you want your autograph, loser?
We're also introduced to a character they couldn't afford to get Jack Black to play. Why do I feel like this was meant to be Ham from the first movie, but Patrick Reno was like, no, God, no. Take your threequel and shove it, please.
Can I kick him now?
Go ahead.
Back up, kids! Clear out! I'm trained for situations like this. Stand back, boys. I'm going in.
going on here?
After Tommy realizes he's been sent back to 1976 somehow to relive his childhood, he wakes up and sees his mother and decides he's gonna spend all the time he has there with her.
I don't know if this is a dream or second chance or what. I'm gonna enjoy it for as long as it lasts. Because of one reason and one reason only. My mom's here. I'm gonna spend as much time with her as possible.
Oh, the feels. So many feelings. I don't know how to feel. Why are you making me feel, movie? You suck. I actually love the fact that they made this character a mama's boy. It kind of evens out his douchey qualities and adds a little bit more to the character. It's actually one of my favorite parts about the movie, and believe me, I don't have a lot of favorite parts in this movie, but that's one of them. But almost as soon as we're introduced to the mother, we're informed that she is sick with what I can only assume is Tommy Wiseau disease, which is a nondescript form of cancer that doesn't really affect the plot that much, if at all, and doesn't really give any descriptions of symptoms or methods of treatment, but is merely used as a very, very, very small plot device, but doesn't really help the plot at all or move the story along. I guess it's mostly used to give a character with very low personality some sort of personality. And this isn't me ragging on the mom character. I love the mom character, and I love the way the actress is portraying her. I feel like she's very sweet, she's very motherly, but they throw in this health problem, what I can only assume is cancer, to move along the point of why he's in the 70s and why he wants to stay there in the first place, to spend some extra time with his mother because he knows he's going to lose her soon. But it just seems like a lot for a kid's movie.
Me? I'm well, thank you. Well, I guess I'm strong enough for the chemo again.
Then maybe we should pick up on the treatments where you left off before the move.
That'd be fine, Doctor.
Now, if he starts acting up again, I'd show him some pictures of family and friends, just to bring him back to reality, as it were.
Well, maybe that's what he's fighting. Reality.
After we're introduced to new Sandlot kids and Tommy's mom, we are reintroduced to some familiar faces.
Nice. Now throw back home. Throw back home. Oh, nice throw. Yeah, nice
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Squints Palladorus. Squints motherfucking Palladorus. Squints, I kiss Wendy Peppercorn under false pretenses Palladorus. Yo, I love Squints. He's probably one of my favorite characters from the original movie. And what makes me really happy and just a little bit sad is that Squints' original actor, Chauncey Leopardi, reprises his role in this movie, unlike the character of Benny, who is now played by Danny Nucci. Oh, by the way, Benny is here.
Here we go, fellas. Hey, Benny, it's pretty weird, right? I mean, it's like the Twilight Zone or something. Maybe you could tell me how we, got here.
You asking me how I got here? Same way these kids are gonna get there. Because they love to play ball. That's the key, kid.
You look so...
Yeah?
well, young.
Really? Maybe I should be looking in the same mirror you're looking in, kid.
Okay, I've got to admit, whether they're played by the same actor or not, it's actually really cool to see these characters again. To see them all grown up and to see where their lives went and to see how the actors played these characters as adults. It's actually one of the other things I love about this movie, and I'm actually really happy that they got Chauncey Leopardi back. He's probably one of the best things about this movie. And after watching the minimal amount of baseball required to pass for a Sandlot movie, we're introduced to our one-dimensional villain, I guess. because the Sandlot movie needs a villain, and I guess they didn't want to use a dog again. This guy's name is Earl Needman, because real name. He's an asshole contractor who wants to buy the Sandlot and turn it into condominiums or shopping malls or houses, I guess. Whatever plot they could have pulled out of the 80s and put into this, they put into this. And he looks like he's played by Robert Redford's nephew.
Pretty good, right? Yeah.
You need to show us how.
Squints, how's it going there, buddy? Like you really care? Just being polite. DJ, all the way to the fence now.
What are you doing here, Needman?
Taking some measurements.
Measurements? For what?
Oh, didn't you hear? City's putting the Sandlot up for sale.
You can't sell the Sandlot.
Oh, yeah, they can. And I'm buying it.
Excuse me?
Face it, Squints. This whole field has run its course. Besides, there's no real talent over here nowadays anyway.
Well, you didn't see what I just saw.
Well, I know that I can fetch a nice price tag on some newly developed condos right where we're standing.
Well, as long as I'm commissioner here, I don't see that happening.
Yeah? Well, then clean your glasses, because you got the future right here, and you don't even see it. Don't slack that off now. EJ, take it all the way out to the fence.
See, this guy is the classic movie villain, and not in a good way. He is a cardboard cutout caricature of what a movie antagonist should be. And by the way, is that Logan Paul? Is his son played by Logan Paul? That has to be Logan Paul.
Hey, yo, good morning, Lil Gang, what's Bob? Hey, yo, good morning, Lil Gang, what's Bob? Yo, good morning, Lil Gang.
By the way, if Tommy is a great asshole, then EJ is the ultimate asshole. He's like a professional asshole. His asshole levels are like over 9,000.
You know, you should spend more time working on your baseball practice than your weak insults.
Insulting you isn't work.
Oh, yeah?
It comes pretty easy.
Dog face. Turd mouth. Rotten face bonehead.
Ignorant, pathetic, sociopath in training.
I have no idea what that means, but it sounded good, guys. Yeah. At least my girlfriend doesn't wear a collar.
I heard your girlfriend got kicked out of an ugly contest because they said no professionals allowed.
Oh. Now, is it true that your mother smacked the doctor when you were born?
Oh, speaking of mothers, do you guys need another player? Because my mom plays ball pretty good, and she's better than all you fools.
Oh, yeah. You guys.
Sorry, what was that? Go ahead. Go ahead. I can't hear you. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Well, at least my mom's not sick.
That's why your mom's in a wheelchair.
This is why Mom doesn't fucking love you!
Your mother's a kid dresser!
Jesus, man.
What the actual fuck? You can say that in a kid's movie. You can say that in a kid's movie. What the fuck? Do kids really get that intense and personal when they're having a roast battle? Do they? Do they really? Oh my god. What were the writers thinking? Shame on you. Shame on you, writers. That was intense. You took me out of the movie. Go sit in the corner. It's timeout time. You're in timeout. In the middle of this movie, we get a dream sequence from Tommy. Unless this whole movie is a dream sequence, it feels like a nightmare. But it does give some introspection into why the character of Tommy is such a dick.
Tommy. Wake up, darling.
What happened?
You crashed after the game. You've been asleep for a few hours now, but Lou's here to see you.
Lou, what's my agent doing?
That's me. Lou. That's Chump Change. Coming back with the real deal. I got shoes that cost more than that. New York Yankees. The Big Apple, baby!
New York? But Tommy, I took my residency here.
Hey, you're talking New York Yankees?
That's 3,000 miles away.
Tommy is a money machine. The owners, they want to buy him. okay? The fans, they want to pay to see him. He is what baseball should be. Caps, t-shirts, memorabilia, cash just for signing your name. They have these things called bobblehead dolls now, all right? It's payday, and New York is the ticket. It's the way it was, the way it always will be. Yankees. Yankees.
They are making me the offer of a lifetime.
I thought that's what I was doing.
Can you hear that?
Not now. Tommy, this is us we're talking about. Baby, I love you.
Judy, no!
You're not gonna get another chance.
Tommy, wake up.
After Tommy's drug-fueled nightmare, the kids go on a little adventure to good old Mr. Myrtle's house to find some baseball memorabilia that might help them win against the Little League kids. 'Cause why show them playing baseball when you can show them getting some baseball shit from the house of a character who appeared in the first two movies but was smart enough not to appear in this movie because he's James Earl Jones and he knows better. I'm actually gonna forego showing you any clips from this scene because it legitimately infuriates me with how unnecessary it is. But I will leave you with the most unconvincing Wilhelm scream in cinema history. Okay, I'm gonna kick it into high gear and hit the highlights because this video is already way longer than it deserves to be. So here we go. After their trip to Darth Vader's house, Tommy becomes the unofficial coach of the Sandlot kids, whipping them into shape for the big game to save the Sandlot. All is good, all is great, all is dandy, all is right with the world, when all of a sudden, good old Earl Needman shows up at Tommy's house and offers him a spot on his team. Tommy takes this spot because he believes it is his destiny to play for Earl's Little League team so he can get discovered and play Major League Baseball when he grows up. Needless to say, Tommy's shit is not going to fly with the Sandlot kids. And when he comes to explain himself and tell them why this is his destiny and why he needs to do this, they are not having any of it. And they tell him to fuck off, you filthy traitor, how could you do this to us? Ryan, a character who's been completely silent up until this point in the movie, gives a quote-unquote poignant speech to Tommy about friendship or baseball or something like that. I don't know, they needed something.
Maybe you're the one who should speak for a while.
You can talk? Hey, why did you do that?
You play with us, teach us all this great stuff about baseball. Being a team, playing together. Now you're gonna up and leave us?
But I have to.
You don't have to do nothing. You're a crock, man. We looked up to you. You made us feel for the game, and it showed. I thought we were showing you something, too.
Yeah? What's that?
Friendship, dummy.
After all this drama, the obvious happy ending prevails, and Tommy rejoins the proper team, the Sandlot team, and they win the big game to save the Sandlot. But during the big game, Tommy gets hit in the head with another baseball, sending him back to the future like Marty McFly.
I think he's waking up, Doctor.
Welcome back.
What happened? Where am I?
You're at Cedar Sinai, Tommy. When I heard you took a pitch to the head in practice, I raced right over here to check in on you.
Q?
No one's called me that in years.
That is right, you guys. We get a happy ending on top of a happy ending. Since Tommy isn't a dick anymore and he helped everyone save the Sandlot, all of his old Sandlot friends come to visit him in the hospital because he changed the present, which means he maybe shouldn't have gotten hit with the baseball in the first place because he's not a dick anymore, which means he wouldn't have been an asshole Major League Baseball player, which means he wouldn't have been cocky, which means he wouldn't have fucked up in the first place. I don't understand it. It's just a happy ending. Let's enjoy it for a minute.
I had the strangest dream.
Hey, he's awake, everyone.
Well, who's here?
Are you kidding? More like who isn't?
Hey, there's my boy.
Penny, what are you doing here?
What? A manager can't visit his favorite player?
His favorite what?
Yeah, you know, the guys have been here almost every day. You know, just checking in. They were really worried about their captain.
Captain?
How could you scare me like that, you silly man?
Judy?
I'm glad to see you recognize your own wife.
I missed you so much. I'm sorry that I ever left you.
What are you talking about?
You know, when I went to New York to play for the Yankees.
Hey, pal, you never played for the Yankees. You've been a Dodger your whole career.
Hey, he may be a little groggy, but don't worry, Jake. He'll be fine.
Remember, honey, you chose to stay with me in L.A.
I did?
Yeah, you did. Heather, Oliver, Daddy's awake.
Oh, kids. Hey, Will. Oh.
Looks like this old ball still has some luck in her yet, huh, buddy?
Ryan?
Do you realize how many calls we get every day asking about you?
Calls?
Yeah, on my sports radio show. Hey, some of the guys want to come in and say hi.
It's just like you said, Mom. Good things to good people.
And with that, the movie is over. You guys, this movie is about an hour and a half long, give or take 10 to 15 minutes. It felt like it was 4 days. I'm not saying I hate this movie. I sat through it several times. I watched it and rewatched it. It's fine. It's not the best. It's not the worst. But here's my thing. It just doesn't feel like a Sandlot movie. The original Sandlot movie is such a great coming-of-age story about friendship and baseball and America, and it was just something a lot of people my age and older and even younger have very close to their hearts. And to do a sequel to that was a weird idea. To do another sequel to that was an even weirder idea. But it's obvious this movie was made for younger kids, probably 10 and 11-year-olds to watch and enjoy and not really think about that much. But it's not terrible. It's a kid's movie. Just like I said with the Daphne and Velma movie. It's a kid's movie. And that's all we should take it for. We shouldn't take it as something that needs to be as good or better than its predecessors. It's just a kid's movie. Let's try to enjoy it that way. Overall, I would give this movie a strong 4.5 out of 10. But I think that's going to do it for me, you guys. Be sure to give this video a big old thumbs up. Be sure to leave a comment down in the comment section below. Be sure to share this with all your friends and family. And be sure to subscribe because I make brand new videos like all the time. I have a Facebook for Wonder Nerd. You can go on like that. You can see a bunch of articles that I post there about movies and cartoons. You can see a bunch of pictures and memes. You can get updated on when new videos are coming out and how videos are coming along. I have a Tumblr for Wonder Nerd. You can go ahead and follow that if you're so inclined. If you like Tumblr, go ahead and enjoy that. I basically do the same thing there that I do on my Facebook page. I have a Stardust App account. If you want to see me talk about movies in about 6 to 10 seconds, you can go ahead and follow me on there. It's a lot of fun. I have a podcast now called The Original Ideas Podcast. It's me and my brother, and we talk about remaking movies. We hypothetically remake some of our favorite movies. It's a lot of fun. You can go ahead and like that on SoundCloud. I will link the latest episode down in the description along with all my handles on all my social medias. And with that, remember you guys, nerds rule.
You play ball like a girl!